All right, we're ready to go.
Welcome to the first budget meeting of the school year.
Woohoo!
Kind of get started at 5:33. I left the agenda as it was last year, but we can tweak or change it up as needed. I did hear Mr. G talk about lowering the fees on the tail end of the last call, so maybe we can touch on that during this. But why don't we go ahead and just get started and go through the budgets with Mr. G first.
Okay, I'm going to try to, this is a Zoom meeting. I don't know. I'm going to try to.
I can share, Mark. What do you want shared?
It's in the drive.
Which one?
Can you have access to our drive?
Well, you sent the stuff out, so I put that in our our LSC drive.
Excellent. Can you share the Excel? It's September 2020, the two budgets. If you can share that, that'd be wonderful.
Okay.
Check this out. All right.
I think I have to download it first. Hold on. I'm going to put that in there. Okay. Now let me open it. Almost there. 20. Okay. And let me share my screen.
Oh, there's a share screen down here. I see it. Okay.
Share screen. This one. Share. Okay. Is that big enough, or should I make it bigger?
Oh, perfect. Yeah, very good.
Okay.
Let me see if I can move you over here. Okay, that looks good. Okay, so this is our budget. As you can see, the $250,000 at the very top, we can't touch that one. That is for substitute teachers. So that's kind of a big one that's we can't touch that one. We also can't touch the $43,000 one. That's for our supply money, the $250 each for every one of our teachers and counselors for them to get stuff. We do have a couple in there, big ones, the 149, the 95, the 25, all the way down. Those are going to be pretty much encumbered with new positions that we had. It was a sleepless summer, I'll just put it that way, for all of us. They had, CPS had given us enough money for $3,800, I think, and then we had to go begging for money again. So they gave us an additional, I think 119 at one time. So anyway, after the initial budget, they gave us enough money for 3,800, I think, and 92 kids. And we went back to them about a week before school opened, and we said, listen, we need 50 more kids, please. And this was, they're not used to hearing that at all from schools, of how much we're growing. So we debated everything. So they did come back and hit us and give us money for 50 more kids. So our number that we needed was 3,942 kids to be able to not have to pay money or not go over the budget on the 20th day. As it sits right now, we have 3,980. So we were correct as far as our budget goes, but it was a tense couple of weeks there, actually all year long. We were about $150,000 at one point, and we had to beg and borrow and everything. But right now, it's going to be a tight budget, but we have enough money for all of our teachers to lowering our class size. Right now, we might have a 0.2 here and there. But right now, there really isn't any budget in this 115, and which is, I also did not take out CIWP. If it's all part of the 115 funds, then I'm just going to keep it in here and not separate it every year because it's a minuscule budget right now because it's going to be used for our teacher positions. So we're okay. We've got enough teachers. We were just approved last night for 3 special ed teachers that we need. We had to, we showed them the numbers. Ms. Hendler did a wonderful job on showing our numbers and giving us the ammunition we needed to get those numbers. But again, they gave us 3 special ed positions the day before school started. So we're going to have some uncovered classes this week, but we're letting all the kids know. We've got a couple interviews this week, so we should be able to fill those. So right now with this budget, again, not much in it. It's all going to go to teacher salaries. Anything left over is going to go to fill our buckets. We should be getting some money back on the 20th day. But again, when that comes, we get the money back from the 20th day for a number of reasons. Number 1 is we'll have more kids than they projected us, so that'll be good. Number 2 is we also make money back. As an example, Miss Carlson, Ruby Carlson, our Spanish teacher, retired over the summertime, and so she would be on the high end of the scale as far as a salary goes. So she would, her financial exposure to us may be $130,000 for her position. So we will hire a brand new teacher or a 1 or 2 year teacher, and it will only cost us about $80,000 or $85,000. So we'll make that money because they have budgeted us that extra money for her, but we will get $50,000 back for her. So there is some other money that we will be getting back on the 20th day. I want everybody to know that. So this is this budget. If you go down, if you click the tab on there, Kath, can you go to the 124 funds on the bottom? Yeah, this one. I've never seen this budget so small before, but it is. Right now we have $8,000 in it. I don't know if it's going to be going up at all. This is where we usually get our vending commissions and some other stuff. And again, we don't have vending this year, so I don't expect this to go up any more this year. So budgets are scarce this year, but we're making do. It's not like years past where we would have $500,000 or that, but we should be okay after the 20th day to start talking about what we can do with those funds. And again, I'm going to push a little bit at, first I want to make sure our class sizes with our teachers is union compliant as best we can. But again, I can't, you know, if the class is over a couple, I can't open a brand new position. You know, we're just going to have to take that one on the chin. But I think 95% maybe we'll be good, or maybe even more, I'm hoping. But we'll see how that plays out. I would like to get another social worker if we can. We did do an appeal. They gave us 1.6, I believe, for social workers, which means we had one full-time one and we got one for 3 days, but we put an appeal out there and a beg borrow kind of a thing. And so they did give us the other 0.4. So we do have 2 social workers. But again, as you know, a social worker for every 2,000 kids, that's ridiculous. So obviously if we can afford to get another social worker in here, that would help us. But any money left over, like I said in the facilities meeting, this is a unique opportunity we have this year, that any extra money we have, let's put it in facilities and just really shore up the campus, shore up the ship, so we don't have to pour a lot of money in for the next couple of years. But this is a unique opportunity because we have no kids on campus to where we could get a lot of this stuff done. So when they do return, and they will return, I don't know this year, but probably next year, the building's looking great and we don't have a lot of capital expenses going forward. So these are these 2 budgets. Anybody have any questions on them at all?
I have a question about student fees. So normally by the first day of school, we've already paid all that. Is there a reason why we didn't send that out ahead of? Is it just too much to do with the online and everything right now?
No, we were waiting for CPS directives. There was actually some talk that we were not going to be able to charge fees this year.
No.
And so we're like, please. And I was talking to my network chief and anybody that would listen to me. We will be crippled if we can't have student fees. For a number of reasons. But, you know, obviously, we're not going to have a lot of fees that we normally do, like buses. We spend $130,000, $150,000 a year on buses. We won't have those fees. But when the kids do come back, we need a budget. We have, this is where we get our uniforms and our, you know, this is our day-to-day stuff. So they said that we could do it with the caveat that everything had to be in regards to online learning. And so I changed a lot of things. I reprioritized. So it's going to be $300 a year instead of $450. Just if anybody asks, Lane Tech is not lowering their fees at all, but we are. So we're going down to $300 a year, which if anybody were to ask, it's about $1.80 a day for every day they're in school. So, you know, I understand people are not doing well this year, but we're going to put the fee letter out in about 2 weeks. But to answer your question with long-winded, we were waiting for directives from CPS. Now we can do it. And the directive that I was given by our network chief is be gentle with collecting it. And you know what? She really doesn't have to tell me that because I always am.
Yeah.
I always try to help people out as much as I can. So it doesn't really need to be said that way. We don't really are a stickler on it. I understand. But here's the good news this year for the budget committee is that my APs are working their asses off. They really are. But one of the babies that Ryan picked up this year is this DocuSign. And so CPS had a contract with DocuSign, like $1 million contract, but nobody was really using it. And so we wanted to use it. And so Ryan kind of went out there and piloted it and spent hours and hours and days working through budget and technology to where now it's done the way it's supposed to be done. Because every year, I think we probably left, and anybody that knows that free and reduced, when someone gets approved for a free, and Ryan says it worked great as a parent. Yeah, it should. I mean, this isn't the 1950s where we need to be putting stuff on paper and mailing it in. So, but here's the problem that we had and we no longer have, is that every year, if you get a free lunch, okay, you get free lunch, we're fine with that, and we're fine with you not paying your fees, but we get about $980 in our CIWP budget. Last year, we got about $1.6 million. Since I've been principal, it goes anywhere from 1.3, 1.4, 1.5. Last year, 1.6. I would say every year we leave $400,000 on the table because parents don't fill it out. It's hard to get them to send it in. It's such a pain. But right now, that's not even an option because you were not allowed to register unless you had all those DocuSign papers in, and we don't have that trail. So it really is going to give us about $400,000 a year. I think next year our CIWP budget is going to go from 1.6 million. I'm hoping to $2 million next year. That will really help us out. And then because, you know, whenever parents come to me after 4 years and they owe $1,500 and they're like, I signed it the first year and I don't remember. I'm like, listen, I know you didn't do it, and I get it. Everybody's busy, but we don't have that excuse anymore. So that's really going to help us. So that's the good news. We owe all that to Ryan. So that's some good news that we can take away from this. Any other questions? Are we okay with the $300 fee? I know that I don't need a vote or anybody's approval. I'm supposed to just kind of run it by the LSC. Is everybody good with that amount? Or maybe I should lower it.
It seems like, you know, we're kind of between a rock and a hard place where we can't not charge anything, but we also, you know, can't necessarily justify charging the full amount. So that feels like a good compromise to me. Yeah.
And there is stuff that it goes to. I mean, everybody uses Naviance. That costs us money. We're buying something called Peer Deck. I just signed the contract for that today, and teachers want that. That's $8,000. We are going, you know, we have laptops now that are breaking down with some of the kids are turning them and that are breaking, and we get all that. So we have technology repairs, and we're buying some more stuff, some docu cameras and all this other stuff. So we really do money. It's not like we're hoarding this money and it's going someplace. It is going places. I think $300 is a fair amount for what you get. You get a Taft education, and I think we've done a good job and it's a good bang for your money right now.
And as far as all the new students we're getting from all the private schools, that's going to seem like chump change.
Yeah, you would think. I mean, yeah, you would think. yeah, from 300, and it really comes down to $300 a year or about $350 a week if you were going to go to one of the private schools. So
I imagine you're
I
going to
think
put this in your email when you send out the form, right? That you know, other schools are not lowering their fees, that kind of thing. Little spin
no,
on it.
because I'm not gonna rip on Brian. I just threw that out for us today.
Oh,
But I
okay.
mean, people need to know that some schools, Whitney Young lowered theirs from 500 to 300. You know, those are the two principals I talked to. Most other schools are lowering them a bit. But I think that's the sign of the times. But it's very clear in the fee letter, this is a 1-year deal only, that I don't want people freaking out like, oh, I went up there 450. This is a 1-year deal because we need to go back up because those funds are needed. Yeah. Okay, we good with this? You want to go to internal accounts, Kat?
Okay.
Go ahead.
That's a PDF, right?
I'm assuming, wait, just really quick on your budget, the last couple of lines are negative amounts. I'm assuming those are coming to get corrected with your transfers.
Yeah, and then well, Kathy, maybe you can call up the budget transfers sheet that I sent out today. Because every month you have some accounts that go negative, and so we have to clear negatives. And the ones that we cleared this month may be from last month, so they might not match up precisely with this one. What are you going to call up, Kath?
So you want to see internal accounts first, or you want the budget
Yeah,
transfer?
let's do internal accounts first. Can I just say I started using honey in my tea, and it's really good. It really is.
Can you guys see that? Can you see the internal accounts, or do I need to share the right screen?
We're still on the 124 funds.
All right, hang on.
Hey, John. Hey,
There
Mr.
we go.
Hart.
Make it a little bit bigger. Good?
Yep.
Okay.
Kathy, I think I mailed you out a newer one today.
I don't think so.
Okay. I know that, well, I can explain it. Right now, the newest one I mailed out today in internal accounts, you see the ending balance right there is 738.
Mm-hmm.
The newer one is about 850. And the reason why it jumped up that much, because in the fact that we didn't charge fees, is we were credited, we were given a check by a firm that we were going to go to Spain with. A bunch of our parents were going to go to Spain, and they put down money. I think they all put down like $3,300 for that. About, I don't know, it was like 40 families. So they reimbursed us, and then we are reimbursing the families each $3,300. So when you look at the new one that I just mailed out today, and the ending balance is now 850, it's because it was credited in the last couple of days with that $110,000 from the company that was handling our Spain trip. But at least the parents got it back.
We're one of those families. I'm very excited for it to come.
Yes, I know. And so that was nice because a lot of travel agents are not playing fair right now. So I feel really good that we're getting that money back to the teachers. Just going down, everything is good. Everything is normal on here. Peruse it at your own thing. I want everybody to know that at one time, I was thinking just to start the school, I was going to have to carve some money out of here to open a couple of positions. And so I earmarked some accounts and I lowered some if I needed to. And I think I can pull out $200,000 of internal accounts to where it's not hurting anybody too badly. It's like trimming the fat off of it. And with that $200,000, I just want the budget committee to know that when we do start getting our $300 in from our parents, I would like to still pull that out and we can start talking about capital improvements around the school. Because like I said, this is an opportunity that we can really use to the 206,000 on the new budget. That's probably going to be around 340,000. So again, it's a little fat on certain areas here, but I think I could pull out enough money to do that. If you go to the very bottom, There's an account there. Go up a little bit. See. I got a dog that's freaking out over here. I think I have donations or somewhere's donations. Can you set it on, please? Thank you. Yeah, 18,000. I want to eventually talk about that. If not this month, I'd like to get that alumni clock for us eventually. I think it's like $23,000, but we're almost there. I'm making one more alumni push with the fall newsletter with Miss Lundy. So if I can get some more money in there, I think it'd be a really nice thing to have that alumni clock in the quad over there by the tennis courts. So we'll talk about that later. I just wanted to plant the seed in everybody's mind right now. I mean, we have some money there for the Veterans Memorial too, which is paid off. So we have internal accounts that we could do that with. Any questions on internal accounts?
Why is there 3,500 still in the Veterans Memorial? Is that like maintenance or something?
No, because people donated it and we didn't spend it all.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on. Kathy, you want to do the, let's go with the budget approvals, I think they're called. I mailed that out today, I think. It was a bunch that we needed the approvals. You know how we normally do approvals one by one?
Yep.
And Kathy needs to sign some. While she's calling that up, I'll just say that the two big checks that I need Kathy to approve, or to everybody to approve and Kathy to sign is, okay, let's go down here. So the first one is the 23,000. I think you have the tab thing on, but that's okay. We can still read it.
Oh, I can turn it off.
Okay.
There you go.
There you go. So more than $10,000, the Murphy and Jones is, it shouldn't say carpet installation. I don't know why it says that. That is carpet removal, and then the tile installation. So that's $23,000. It's really gonna, we get to reconfigure our library right now. So the carpeting there is terrible. It's gray and it's got coffee stains on it. And it's time to do it. But also we want to reconfigure it because right now where the librarian desk is, it's right in the middle of the library and it's not really conducive to it's just not. We're going to move it more towards the door by the APR over there. So when you walk in or walk out, I mean, that would have a view of the entire library there. And then we can kind of configure it a little bit. We want to turn it into what it should be, more of a media center than a library. Libraries are, I love libraries and stuff like that, but we need to really look at our books right now. If I went in there and picked up books, I've got books that weren't checked out since Lyndon Johnson was a president. I mean, it's really some of these books in there. So we really need to, I know nobody likes to throw out books, but I mean, why do we have atlases in from like 1982? I mean, it's just, right now they're just decorations. And so we really need to take a hard look and getting rid of some books and turning them into like a media center, what our kids know. My vision is a media center and then like tables to where kids can talk. And at each table, they can have like a charging station to where they can all plug their phones in while they talk or while they read or whatever like that. So we're going to turn it into the 2000s instead of like a 1970s library. Next one is ATI physical therapy. That's what we pay our trainer every year. I'm going to put that one on hold right now. I'm not sure. I know they gave us an $8,000 discount. But I want to talk about that some more because we didn't have sports in the spring, and so I don't want to pay anything, and so I got to figure out what this bill is about, whether or not it's an old bill from last year, but just been so busy lately. But I'm not asking for approval on this one because I want to pick that apart. Because I don't think we should pay any money. If we have a contract, I understand that, but you would think that the pandemic supersedes any contract. So I want to look at that one. Okay, going down, budget transfers. Again, $20,000 we need to replenish. And like Chrissy was saying, like a lot of these at the end have negative balances. We need to put money in to take care of that. It happens a lot. Sometimes, you know, like with new teachers rolling over, they get into a new lane or something like that, or a new step. And now they haven't paid us enough for their benefits. So we need to replenish a benefit line there of $20,000. We needed to offset a negative line for ESP and teachers. That would be overtime that we needed to offset that one. Again, we needed to open a teacher position for $59,000. You can never get a teaching position for $59,000, but we already had some money in there already because, like I said, a first-year teacher is going to cost the school $80,000. Okay, because they start around, a teacher's salary starts at around $55,000, and then you have about $25,000 in benefits. So a new teacher usually costs you around $80,000, but we already had some money in there. So we just needed to beef it up a little bit with the $59,000. And then again, we needed to add the benefit line. Benefits are usually going to be, a new teacher is going to be $25,000. We had some in it, but we needed to add more. So we added $11,000. The next one is the teacher stipends. We went away a couple years ago from giving teachers, all teachers, a period off. And so what we did was the smaller departments, we are giving stipends out. One of those stipends is for Mr. Arroyo through just a lot of craziness at the end of the year last year. He did not get his stipend. So we were being retroactive on that to get him. He is the PE chairperson. So we got to get him his stipend. And then the rest of that is also for the music and the play that we had. A lot of our teachers had time in before COVID hit as far as getting our spring play in. So we wanted to reimburse them with time. The next one is $4,500 for an ESP and a teacher bucket. Again, that's probably for overtime or summer. It might be different. Instead of overtime, we have a bucket for summer overtime. And then we added art and science positions. So we needed some more money to put in there. So we put $45,000 in that. So that's the transfers. And then the two on the bottom there are the $18,000. That's 411. It's about $18,000 going back to Park Church. They paid us in advance for all those months. And then we, for lack of a better term, we told them you can't come back because of COVID. And so it's only right that we give them back their $18,000. They didn't leave on their accord. They left on our accord. So it's just the right thing to do. So we're giving them back $18,000. And then $375, I think, is for Math Kangaroo. We have to reimburse Math Kangaroo that had a deposit down or something. The last thing we have is varsity sports supplies. This is an old line from before COVID. When COVID hits, a lot of our suppliers didn't send us invoices, and so now we're kind of cleaning up the wreckage of those financial times from before COVID. Any questions at all on these? I know there's a lot, but we haven't met in a couple of months. Really love this honey. Okay.
Any questions?
Any questions? Okay, let's move on. I think, what else did we have?
The only other thing we typically do is allow for PPLC if there's a teacher that wants to chime in. Anything budget related. Are we not rolling with the teachers not staying on to kind of do this till we vote, or?
That would be Ms. Villasenor or Mr. Nishibayashi. I don't think they're here right now.
Or if Mr. Wilson wanted to say anything. Sometimes I don't know if you guys have even met. Other than that, we can keep it on the agenda for going forward.
Yeah, I mean, we did meet. We met last week, or the week before on a Friday. So I mean, we just talked about the new year. We talked about our new grading system that we're going to implement this year. So what else did we talk about? Just a lot of trying to quell a lot of the fears of the going into the year. People were concerned about, just safety and stuff like that. We did get, so everybody knows, we did get a lot of our clerks, not, I don't know a lot of them, but a lot of them maybe is a good word, would like to work from home, as well as a couple of our teachers. Our director, our our deans at the Freshman Academy because A, they don't feel safe coming into the building, and B, they have kids at home. And so the ADA, I can't grant that. I don't have permission to do that from CPS saying, okay, you can stay at home, you can stay at home, you can't, you can. And I wouldn't want that. I would basically say everybody can stay at home if you can do your job. But the ADA did contact me, and I had a conversation with them, and I said, if people can stay at home and do their job, which I think they all can, that's fine with me. The one thing that they're not sure about is whether or not CPS will actually grant a disability exemption if you have kids at home. And that's kind of the reason why you can't come. That's out of my league. I'm out of my ballpark. So that's a CPS thing. I would hope that they would do that. I would hope that CPS would err on caring and compassion rather than protocol. But again, I'm not them. I'm just here for Taft. And so I gave them my permission. I said, anybody from Taft, mostly if they can work at home, then I'm for it. But again, I can't give them permission, but if you're asking me if they can do it, they're fine. So that's it. I don't think I got anything else. Any questions at all?
I know I didn't attend your facilities meeting today, unfortunately, but you've referenced a couple times now some capital projects that you would have liked to see done. Can you just give me like cliff notes of kind of the ones that you're top 5 or something?
Well, what Pat and I are going to do is we're going to meet and we're going to have all of our capital improvements, and we're just going to have to sit down as the facilities, and maybe we just have a facilities and a budget committee, and we combine it maybe in October when we get a better picture of our internal accounts and how much money we have, and just look at them. Some of them are big, like the drama lab we've been wanting to do, but that's too. We thought it'd be like $100,000. Now it's $250,000 because we have a lot of electrical stuff that's not up to code in there. So that got kind of huge. The gym climate control system we would really like. Pat keeps scolding me not to call it air conditioning because it is just humidity and everything like that. That's over $100,000. So there's some big ones. There's a lot of little ones I like. Like I want by the time I leave Taft, I want every drinking fountain in there to be updated. I want those old white ones out of there. I want to put one in a museum because they're just old and they're ugly, like me. But no. So we're going to have like all different levels, and we'll just decide what we can do with it. We still need our locker rooms renovated, especially on that second floor, that one with the box lockers. That's ridiculous. We got to gut that out. I'm hoping we can maybe do that this year with some money. Again, my priority would be what capital improvement can we do that affects the most kids. And a locker room, a lot of our kids are using that locker room, so that would be high on our priority. Our gymnasium would be high on our priority. I still like the drama lab, but again, it would, in my mind, I could be talked out of it. But again, I want to do that in phases. I've asked Mr. Levins to ask the people that are giving us bids if they can come in with 4 separate funding, so we can break it down into 4 years. We know how quick 4 years goes by. But if it's $60,000 a year, I think I could carve that out of some budget somewhere that we could do that in a 4-year budget could really help us. So there's, we're getting, and one of my things I want to be able to do is when I retire one day, I want to be able to drive by the campus, and I want it to be just the most beautiful campus when I drive by. And so I'm really about the landscaping right now on the varsity campus. I want to get some trees out there, some fall trees. Like I keep saying, I want that field to look like a bowl of Fruit Loops in the fall, and just really make it look nice. So when people walk by, I mean, you know how it was 7 years ago. It was a shithole. I mean, I shouldn't swear. It wasn't good. And we had just the facilities on the outside were not kept up, to nobody's fault. I mean, other things needed priorities right now. But now when we're looking at Taft, I want to make it look beautiful. And when I say that, like, I think we need like a Natoma and Bryn Mawr right there. We need to carve out a section right there to where we need kind of a brick thing that says Taft High School, established 1939, some flowers and everything. So people can actually see what school that is. We also need that over on Natoma and Hurlbut, right there. You know, another section right there where we can have a little flower garden that says Taft High School. And I'm just thinking some nice brick, like granite brick that you can get out by like Mount Prospect. I see a place out there. And then also the old alumni sign. I'd like to get that updated. I also want to get a archway, a brick archway going on to the field when you walk in there that says, you know, probably if Mr. Wislow can donate some more money, we call it the Wislow Family Field, whatever. I mean, if he wants to donate money to their, the concession stands, obviously, I want to get those. I think we need, I would just wanted to be able to open up. We've got food, hot chocolate, whatever, hot dogs, nachos. So we make it friendly. And then on the other side, you open up the other door and you've got any kind of Taft swag you want there. You've got bucket hats, you've got whatever, I mean, 1,000 different things. So, you know, we got people there and people want to wear Taft stuff. I think we're losing an opportunity there, not only to make a little bit of money. I mean, you're not going to make much because you're probably going to throw it right back into buying more swag. But then you got a lot of people wearing Taft stuff. And so, you know, there's a lot of areas around there that it's going to be nice. I eventually want to get like a golf putting surface out there. That's about $25,000 to get like a little 8-hole little putting area like you would see when you walk into a golf course. I think that would be a great thing for us. I think there's only 2 sports right now that have to leave our campus to practice, and that's golf and that's bowling. So if we could take care of golf right there, more than half of the things you do on a golf course are putting or chipping. So I think our team can really practice there and don't have to get on a bus anywhere. And then also I want to get a couple of buses this year. We didn't buy them this year because I figured, why am I going to buy a 2020 bus when we're not going to use it till 2021 and it's just going to sit out there and get rusty. So we kind of put that on the back burner right now. So I know long-winded, but we have a lot of projects, but these are high quality projects for us to bring us to that, what I keep calling the suburban level of where we should be at. So.
And the amount of money you think you're going to have to work with on that?
It all depends on how we're looking with the $300 a person coming in. I know that I can carve out $200,000 right now without any money going into that budget, and it won't hurt us. I also think we're going to have money on the 20th day. We might have anywhere from $200,000 to $400,000 coming on the 20th day. So depending on our needs for staff, we may have some money left over. You know, that's how we've always done things. The last 6 years I've been principal, we kind of like save money, and then by the end of the year, we're trying to get stuff done. The last couple of years, we've had to buy computers, and we've really taken care of our technology needs to where we got teacher laptops, and we're set to go. We're set for like 5 years with technology as far as I'm concerned. But now we can, with this year of being such a nice year to get this capital done, I think we just pour everything in the capital, and then the next couple of years we can do other stuff with it. So.
Do you think we're going to be out for the whole year?
I do.
Wrong answer, Mr. G. Wrong answer.
I know. And I hope I'm wrong, because again, I'm wilting inside. I'm just me. But I mean, I'm wilting. My soul is wilting because I do this to see the kids, especially on the day one, when I can stand by the door and say, "Welcome home, Mr. G. What are you doing?" I get all that. I get my heart watered by that, and I should have been up in the cafeteria today, laughing with some of the kids, throwing some T-shirts around and ask, you know, and so that's not why I got into things. But it's not about me; it's about our kids. I mean, this is about socialization. Like I've always said, you get the classes, come back in the alumni classes. They don't talk about the classes; they talk about all the other stuff that the kids aren't getting right now. So what I think is going to happen, honestly, and it's just my opinion, I think we're going to go the first quarter, and then you're going to hear this. You know what? We've already gone the first quarter. Let's just do the first semester, okay? Let's just get through the first semester. First semester is going to end in February, and they're going to say, hey, listen, remember last year COVID started about this time. So let's just do one more quarter, and we'll see if maybe we can come back the last quarter. By the time the last quarter will come around, they're going to say, listen, we've almost done the whole year. Let's just finish out the whole year and come back in next year. So I think that's going to be the narrative that you're going to hear. I hope it's not. I hope I get my kids back, but you can see this thing ain't going away. And you know, you could see what happens when these schools, the colleges are getting together. And I don't think it's that kids are having these, you know, 200 people party. I think the press likes to spin it like it's kids having these huge parties and they're so irresponsible. And I just think it's just getting a whole bunch of kids together that are teenagers that their frontal lobes aren't connected yet to where they understand that this is not a good thing. And you can't be, you know, meeting. I mean, you guys know I ended the summer conditioning because I didn't think it was safe. And yet every kid in the neighborhood is hopping the fences and now hanging out with each other within a foot of each other. So, I mean, they don't get it. So I don't think we are. And I hope I'm wrong. I really do. I hope I'm really wrong.
Fiscally,
Anyway,
wouldn't it,
just
wouldn't
seems
it
to me
cost a
lately,
bunch of money for CPS
like I
to
talked to
turn
my
around and
dad.
fiscally, wouldn't it be not really great for the CPS to try to open up all the buildings, even if it's just for a semester? Isn't that going to cost a ton of money?
I honestly, you know what? We are a union organization here. CPS is about our union, and I understand that. I respect our union. I don't think our union's going to let anybody come walking in this door unless it's 100% okay. And I don't think you can do that, because I think even if a cure came out for this thing, I think a lot of people aren't going to do it. They're going to be like, no, you take the cure. I'll wait until you see if you grow a third thumb or whatever. And then people aren't going to take it. And then what do you do with people that don't want to do it? You know, so yeah, we're a good year away, I think, from it being somewhat normal. And you know, but again, I don't know. I'm an educator, not a doctor, obviously. Okay.
Well, I do accounting and not teaching, so I can relate.
Yeah. Anything else though? Anybody? Well, since we have parents here, any reaction to how the day went with your kids? How'd it go?
My kid asked me for the Netflix password halfway through the day, and I didn't answer him.
No.
No?
From my kid, she said everything went well. So
Okay.
My son, we had to touch and go. My son was touch and go in terms of being able to get his first classroom code. He had to have a schedule change yesterday.
Yeah.
So we didn't have his classroom code for his first period until about 7:35 or so.
Yeah. What's crazy for me right now is that we've got California burning, we've got COVID, we've got racial unrest in just about every city. But it seems right now the number one problem is that our seniors can't get an 8th period lunch. So I'm just trying to quell that with them. It's just it seems that everybody has a job that starts at 2:30 in the afternoon. And I'm like, guys, we can't do this, okay? Just relax.
My junior's sitting here telling me she felt bad for the teachers. She said they all, by the end of the day and by the end of their classes, just looked drained and like they had headaches from staring at screens and like trying to figure it all out. Yeah. She said at the beginning of the day, she said it was really good. Her physics teacher laughed and said, sorry, I have a messy house. And just that. She said, but by the end of the day, she said, I felt really bad for the teachers. This isn't how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I know. And it's not, you know, our kids are resilient. They'll get it. I just feel for our teachers. I've said it. I'm not in the classroom, and I've got a couple of teachers here, but I think it's about twice as hard to teach. And I may even be underestimating, maybe 3 or 4 times as hard, but it's not why we're doing this. It's just, it's exhausting. I can only imagine.
yeah, I have a daughter that's a CPS teacher, and she's just like so stressed, and
Yeah.
it's just hard.
Yeah.
Trying to make videos that take 5 hours to make a 5-minute video.
Yeah. I think I'd just be doing show and tell for the first week and a half. That would be me, though.
That is our drama curriculum.
Anyway, anything else on anything else? We got 12 minutes.
I think we're good.
No.
So is the LSC meeting going to be this fast, Kathy? We're on a roll.
We'll have to see.
There we go. All right. I'll have the meeting adjourn at 6:18, but feel free to chat away.
Keep this link open, and we'll see you guys back at 6:30.
Okay. Anita, you going up north anymore or what? Or is it closed up now?